Well, hey everybody, and welcome to the Finding Dory trailer discussion. We are super pumped. We had a minute and a half, minute and 40-second trailer that dropped today via Ellen and Disney UK and Pixar and everybody else. And wow, there was a lot in there, so we've got a lot to talk about. Of course, we are joined by special guests. We'll get to their introduction in just a minute, but we need to do a little bit of housekeeping so that way you guys, our viewers, know how to interact with us as well. So, if you are watching this directly on Google, in the Google Hangout, Google Plus world, you can leave a comment directly here. If you're watching on YouTube, you can leave a comment on there. You can send us an email at info@pixarpost.com, or if you happen to be on Twitter, there's lots of ways. You can use the hashtag FindingDoryPP for Pixar Post, and Julie will be monitoring those, and we'll be discussing them as we go through. We've already gotten some good ones up front as far as questions that we've had, things talking about anti-captivity. We've had some comments about the tank scene, the touch scene being similar to Toy Story 3. We've got lots of good stuff to think about, so keep the comments and questions coming in as we discuss. But now let's just take a look and see who our special guests are this evening. As you could imagine, we are joined, as normal, by Mr. Dan Taylor. Dan, the Pixar fan. Say hello, Dan. Uh-oh. Did we lose Dan?
Dan!
Dan! All right, well, how about we go to Jonathan?
We'll come back.
Yes, we'll come back to Dan. I see his face down in the bottom in my little queue here frozen up, so obviously he's going to be jumping back on in a second. But Jonathan, you are one half of the Super Carlin brothers, and give yourself a little bit of introduction. Tell people just a little bit about you and your site.
Yeah, absolutely. My name is Jonathan Carlin. Like TJ said, I'm one half of the Super Carlin Brothers. We have a YouTube channel that is called Super Carlin Brothers, where we talk mostly about Pixar, but also sort of about just Disney in general and Star Wars and Marvel and all those sorts of things. But the thing that we love talking about the most is Pixar.
Fantastic, and that is why we're excited to have you here.
I'm working again.
Yeah, there he is!
As soon as you said something about me, it froze up.
Well, this better not be a consistent happening, Dan.
I hope not. I'm sorry.
I'm just kidding. All right, so Dan, the Pixar fan, let's introduce you again and give everybody a little bit of a flavor as far as you and what your site is.
Yeah, okay. I'm Dan Taylor. I run danthepixarfan.com. It is a daily blog where I post an item from my personal collection of Pixar toys and collectibles and whatever it might be, my Disney trips and different events that are Pixar related. I do just in-depth reviews of toys every day, and you can find me all over social media. I like I said, I do a post a day, and I do all the pictures and in-depth write-ups and everything. So if you're a collector of different Disney things, you might want to check it out.
Absolutely, and you've had some killer posts recently digging into your personal archives about your memories that you've had, about some of the original drawings that you had done, and your bed sheets. Who invited that kid? You know, you've got all those things going. So you've had some really good posts recently, some really fun stuff. So definitely check it out. So our final guest that we have this evening is the other half of the Super Carlin brothers, Ben. So Ben, give yourself a little introduction and say hello.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, of course, I'm Ben. I'm going to be the other half of Jonathan's Super Carlin Brothers, where he covered kind of everything we do. My role on the channel, I've done like a lot of Fast Facts series. I kind of go through and just burn through an entire movie's worth of just fun facts and Easter eggs and all the little things you don't want to see in any of the movies in a short, little, concise video. But just like the rest of these guys, basically obsessed with Pixar as the #1 passion.
Absolutely, and we're excited to have you here because of your your job. We wanted to bring you on because you're a tank expert, and since we're talking about Dory and Marine Life Institute, and there's some tanks there, we wanted a saltwater tank expert.
Right. Yeah. So that's gonna give me my unique view. This particular movie and Finding Nemo both have played interesting roles in both of my careers as a YouTuber and as my profession of designing, installing, and maintaining large commercial aquarium systems. I have like over 100 Dorys in my care, so I spend a lot of time around these little fish.
That's awesome. So as we're getting a couple more viewers in here, and we'll do one little quick recap, I'm just curious, though, because I got to know, how did you get into this as far as tank management?
Oh, my gosh. Well, you know, like, as a kid, like anything, you've got hobbies, and mine was just taking care of aquariums. I had 2 in my bedroom. And when I turned 16, I was kind of like, what skills do I have to go get my first job? And that happened to be the skill. And it was just one of these, one thing led to another, to another, to another, to the point where I was running a small retail store in college. And then when I graduated, I kind of fully adopted this this style of business as my full-time job.
Oh, man.
Well, that is wild and super cool. So, well, welcome again as our first time, your first time on the old live hangout here. So, thanks for coming.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so let's get down to business. We've got a lot more viewers that have jumped in. Just a quick recap: if you have any questions, Julie will be monitoring those. info@pixarpost.com. You can send us an email, or of course, using the hashtag FindingDoryPP. We'll be monitoring all those along the way here. But let's get, before we start diving in, I've got time code breakdowns with all my notes of what we're going to talk about. Let's just get a initial reaction to what you thought, because initially,
and I have a theory that might blow your mind. I'm sorry.
You're going to go right to it?
No, I'm not. But I'm like chomping at the bit about it.
These guys are the theory experts.
Yeah.
So
it's not really.
If you do a Pixar theory, let us know.
Well, it's not really a theory,
We
but
do.
I think I figured out a plot detail.
Oh boy, here we go. Okay, so
We'll get to it.
well, when do you want to reveal this?
I don't know, but
Okay.
not yet.
Not yet. Okay, all right.
Just
she's
let it
just
marinate.
teasing the teaser. Okay. But yeah, so the initial kind of reaction here is some people were like, "This is way too short. I want more." But Dan? What was your first initial reaction once you actually saw it and experienced the? We'll just call it 1:35.
Mm-hmm. Well, it was short, but that's fine because I want to see the movie when the movie comes out. I don't want to I know in like a month or two they're going to be showing all sorts of stuff, probably too much stuff. So I think it was just fine for me as far as the length. And as far as the footage, loved it. The colors, the animation, everything's vibrant. The music. I guess the word that I would describe it as is fun. It was a fun trailer, and I think it all came together. I liked the different gags that they showed, they chose to show, and ultimately, it made me even more excited than I already was. And that's the point of the trailer. So they did their job.
That is certainly the point of a trailer. Jonathan, what were your initial reactions once you saw it?
Oh, just excited mostly. I was really happy that we got to see sort of like each of like the 3 big new main characters, with like the 2 whales and the octopus, and they kind of each had a little line and scene, and that was cool. I loved that we got to see Dory's parents. I was like, oh, no way! Everything just looked so beautiful. And again, as soon as they start playing the music, I'm just like, oh, I know, I'm there.
Yeah.
So.
I think that's everybody. Everyone has like this nostalgia for that music in that world, I think.
Okay, speaking of music, let's get down to Peter Gabriel.
Okay.
First off,
Salisbury Hill's the song, in case anybody doesn't know.
Yes. I put a link to it in our post. I'm a huge Peter Gabriel fan, so when I heard his voice, I was like, wait a second. It fits perfectly.
It did actually. It was a really cool addition for sure. I've had some feedback in the past as far as that I'm not always so sure of that when they use a lyric type song, but it really felt good.
Yes.
Felt really
It
good.
felt natural. It felt almost just like a natural progression, almost if it's been a part of this world this whole time. It felt very Pixar to me, I think.
Absolutely, yeah. Just a quick note, we did get a quick message that we do have some Pixar viewers, so hello as well. So just wanted to say hello there. But Ben, what was your initial reaction when you caught the trailer?
Oh man, I mean, same as you guys. I think as soon as the music started rolling, it was just being like showered in nostalgia. I think probably this was one of the first movies that I saw Finding Nemo, rather, was one of the first movies that I had just seen over and over and over again. So as soon as you enter that world, you're just, like you guys said, back in it. You're immersed in the ocean with these guys. It was crazy for me seeing what these characters were. I guess I hadn't fully wrapped my head around where the location of the whole film was going to take place. So I'm like, a whale shark, a beluga whale? Like, we've got to be in an aquarium. You know, this is interesting. And again, that's probably me and my personal experience feeling like this is strange, because I kind of work in one of these places. Even seeing inside, like, the life support room where she's being held in a quarantine tank, and you have a hospital tank with a sick fish. Like, all of these details are just so, like, I get it too well, I guess.
Yeah.
Ben has the terminology for everything. Like, oh, that was a hospital tank? That was a quarantine tank?
I know, I was like, hospital tank, you must know this.
That's awesome.
Right. I have those tanks. Like, such good attention to detail. So I don't know. I think even, I mean, and then in those rooms, kind of like pausing and trying to figure out like what all the medications and everything were. Like, I wanted to see what they were doing. How are they taking care of the fish?
Well, you know, it's going to be obviously one of the great things to see eventually is more details on their research trip. Because, you know, Ratatouille, they went to France and they went into French kitchens and they learned all the different details and all these crazy different things. It is going to be, the DVD extras, Ben, for you are going to be a complete mind-blowing experience. I'm sure they're going to have some great details about going in to aquariums and finding some of that background research out to make sure that they included it properly.
Maybe Ben will be in the special features.
Yes.
Right.
People at Pixar are watching. You guys can invite me out.
Yeah, it's a direct link to a consultant there.
Right. I'm both an aquarium and Pixar expert.
It's a world. It's worlds colliding.
Yes.
All right, so I'll give one quick little shout out as well to one of our readers, Dylan, who's actually, he wanted to watch from the Netherlands, but it's 4 a.m. there, so he'll be catching this later. But also, let's just see. I'll throw in a couple quick comments from the forum too. Forum user Prickle Pants said the trailer was off the chart, fantastic, so awesome it prickled his pants off. Pixar 113 said it looks breathtaking. This is definitely making me consider seeing it in IMAX. Yes, it's coming to IMAX, he says. So lots of really cool stuff. Let's start talking about and dig into the trailer, though. So we've got the opening shot where we've got Dory, Marlin, and Nemo swimming, that top shot. We've kind of seen a shot very similar to that before. But then, hits you right off the bat. You hear Mr. Ray talking, and then we see Mr. Ray again. We've got him explaining the Stingray migration, sets up the whole thing beautifully. So, okay, Dan, when you see Mr. Ray, what are you feeling?
I loved it. And in fact, we hardly saw any of him in the first one. I mean, he was in a little bit in the beginning, but he left such an impact.
Stationary.
Yeah, he's more stationary. He doesn't do a ton, but I feel like people who have seen the film, they recognize him immediately because he was such a memorable character in such a short amount of time that I was so excited to see more of him. And I love that it's Bob Peterson, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. So what we're going to do real quick, I'm going to share my screen, and we're going to get to one of my favorite parts. So we've got, and you guys can see this, correct, just to make sure?
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. So here's that top shot I was talking about. We've got one of my favorite scenes coming up here, as we've got Mr. Ray flying through the scene. Is it
the rays swirling around?
No, I love this angle right here, where they've got the school of fish, that circle open, he goes through them, you've got that great action shot tracking them through there, but then the camera tracks off to the right a little. Oh, so good. Brilliant camera work. Great for the layout team there, and maybe even the story team as far as how they originally designed this, but absolutely love that scene. But also wanted to talk about, we see kind of Dory trailing along with all the kids here. Jonathan, did you have any thoughts as far as seeing Dory here? It almost looks like she's on this trip. She's very involved. Why is she so involved?
Yeah, that was my initial question. I was like, why is Dory at Nemo's class. I was also like, well, why isn't he part of this migration? But then also, he's like, I guess like a manta ray, right? They're stingrays. But yeah, but then while he's talking, like she repeats the word home, and she's like swimming opposite them. So I was like, is she like some sort of like assistant or like assistant teacher? She doesn't seem like she'd be a great teacher because she can't really remember anything.
I took it as like you're on a field trip at school, like elementary school, and you know, if your mom came with you as a chaperone, you know, you got to sit at the front of the bus, and you didn't get to sit in the back, but you didn't really want your parents to be there on your field trip because you still wanted to kind of goof off.
That's true, because Marlon isn't there, it seems.
I kind of took it as she was more like the chaperone, like she just kind of tagged along.
Okay. All right.
Do you think maybe, yeah, I can see that. Or maybe even the other way. Maybe like Nemo is like keeping an eye on her, like just stick with me today. if this is like the morning after she almost swims away or something, because yeah.
Who knows?
He seemed really concerned about it, and you would think Marlin after the first movie wouldn't feel the need to give Nemo a chaperone anymore, like. But
yeah.
That's true, because that's what he learns ultimately at the end.
That's like the point, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So then we obviously see that shot of the stingray migration. Very gorgeous shot. I'll even just go ahead and pull that. I'll go ahead and pull that up again since Dan had already kind of mentioned it. So yeah. We've got.
As I saw that poster that was kind of similar, I was hoping a shot like that would be in the film. So I'm so happy that we have one.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. This right here is my favorite shot.
This one.
This one.
Okay.
The lighting of this shot and the animation of every single one of those hundreds of manta rays is beautiful because every single one of those is animated individually, yet they're all moving so differently.
Yeah.
I love it. That's my favorite shot in this whole trailer.
The camera tracking is fantastic on that too.
Yeah.
It's not just the camera, it's the weight, like the movement of the grass.
Yeah,
you know, on the seafloor, everything. It's beautiful, and I want that poster blown up on her wall.
Sure you can make that happen.
That scene almost seems like Good Dinosaur-esque, where you're also seeing this like grand sense of scale relative. You know, if you look at just how small our little characters are here in the scheme of this movement, they just seem so small in their landscape.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is, you know, it seemed like was the big thing about the Good Dinosaurs. Like how small can we make a dinosaur look the whole time?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah, I also wanted to say as far as like a little bit, I mean, they do a lot of squash and stretch in the first one, but definitely there's some good moments of it in here, and there's another one that I'll bring up too. But I love this, how her eyes go up, and then like it's almost like her body kind of catches up to him. So good.
I kind of have a geeky question for you guys.
All right, hang on. This might be good enough to come back off of the screen share.
I'm so random with my thoughts.
All right, here we go.
So when I was watching the trailer, I was thinking, okay, what technology is new? What new technology are they introducing with Finding Dory? Basically, like we know that there's usually a new tool or something with each Pixar film that they adjust, that they perfect.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys think that they have created that's new for Finding Dory? I was thinking maybe something to do with water, but how could they have changed it? Because water was such an integral part to the Good Dinosaur.
Mm-hmm.
Could it be like the bubbles? And then we'll get to the scene of the touch pool, but when the children plunge their hands, there's, you know, that oxygen.
Right,
you
the
know,
bubbles that
the
are coming
bubbles
in with
that,
her, yeah.
Yeah, but that kind of like oxygen glove as they're going in to the water before the water's all on their hand.
Right.
You know that
Oxygen glove. I like that.
Yeah. I don't know what it's called, but that's like, you know, you first put your hand in.
No, it's actually the bubble that forms there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
oxygen glove. TM.
Oh, she's trademarked it.
Coined that phrase, yeah.
But I wonder what new technology. And you know, there was like more volumetric clouds with Good Dinosaur.
Right.
Monsters University, it was more of the global.
The global illumination.
Yeah.
Right. So it could be lighting underneath the water. They could have possibly improved that, the way that the rays are bouncing.
Like more rigs with lighting underwater.
You never know.
Yeah, so I just didn't know if you guys had any thoughts or...
Yeah, did you guys see anything in the trailer that made you think, wow, that is kind of like a leaps and bounds above what we had seen before? I guess, I don't know, Dan, I'll throw it over to you. Did you see anything that kind of caught your eye that way?
No, not off the top of my head. That's a really good question. Now that I am thinking about it, I'd have to look back. But I wonder also, with The Good Dinosaur being so photoreal, if they were developing, since both movies were being developed at the same time, ultimately, I wonder if they were developing that new technology simultaneously, since there are nature elements in both of them that could have been used.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's certainly a factor, but I like the thought, and it's interesting to, as we see more information, it'll be cool to see if something else kind of comes to mind or whatever.
If I hear something about the oxygen glove now, I'll lose my mind. I mean, they'll probably have
it'll be interesting to see what their big hurdle was, because they always have like their big challenge that it's really hard to get through, but then they do.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So that would be like in Inside Out, making all the characters like bubbly. I feel like I was reading an interview. They made Joy that way, and as soon as John Lasseter saw it, he was like, "Oh, sorry guys, you're gonna have to make everyone that way."
Yeah.
Particles, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what'll be the thing? What'll be the
Or the
linchpin?
backpacks.
Oh, the backpacks. That's right. Monsters U. The
Yeah,
backpacks were so
backpacks.
hard to
Who knew?
do.
And the amount of characters.
Wait, and
Right.
the amount of extra characters and everything. Obviously in that scene there with Mr. Ray is where, as Jonathan mentioned, he says home. That's where Dory's kind of having this kind of realization of what is happening. So I'll go ahead and pull this guy up here again. So now she's like, we've got to go find him. And then we get some flashback scenes. We've got 5 seconds of glorious flashback scenes. So, do we think right off the bat that we have a baby Dory here?
Yes.
I think so. Yeah, I think that's mom, dad, and 3 kids. Or
So mom and dad in the back there, and then 3 little small ones up.
I would go. Yeah, I guess so.
Okay.
The front ones look smaller, or else it's like 5 kids and mom and dad are just elsewhere.
It certainly could be. I will also say, if this is baby Dory, in our forum, there's been plenty of discussions. It's actually been kind of funny about people going into the biology of it. And Ben, maybe you can shed some light on this. They're saying that when blue tangfish are born, they're actually all yellow, and then they form the blue over time. Can you confirm or deny?
I wish I could. There is very little in the way of. It's kind of a hot button topic within the aquarium industry because they are so difficult to breed and they're so highly collected. So I don't know that much about juvenile hippotangs actually, but I'm now going to have to search because I am interested.
If we go back to that screenshot,
Absolutely.
What I took away from this scene is not only the slight lens flare that you see towards the bottom, like middle of it,
Exactly.
but the reef, like they kind of look like trees, like that you would see in a neighborhood. I felt very safe in this scene, like it's her home, because if you look down any small town or
Anytown,
little
USA?
Yeah, anytown USA, in a neighborhood, like a family neighborhood, you see tree-lined streets and those pink little, the flat, what is it called, just like reef,
The coral here kind of popping up?
in the background,
In the far back.
the far back, it's flat, it's like it waves.
Yeah, they look like real trees.
Yeah,
it
looks like trees.
They look like real life trees. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I like that thought. You also see the the green grass kind of reminds you of that as well. And I think the grass, I think, is almost like what sparks her memory, and it's like it almost seems like it's a recurring like motif in this trailer a little bit. And like you can see, like later on in here, we'll see, I guess, Marlin and Nemo swimming down what almost looks like a little like driveway, swimway up to like the house or something.
Right, where it's got like some shells in the sand.
I have to give it to the sets department for adding those like reef trees because that sold this shot for me.
Yeah, that's awesome.
In the background.
I never thought about it as like as far as like, you know, you have that total home feeling, but it is. It's kind of like got that.
It just looks like mature trees that you would find in a neighborhood.
Yeah.
It just feels homey and safe.
Yeah, absolutely. And I should also say that you can hear what sounds like a quick, brief moment of, sorry, of baby Dory. And in the forum user Zoe Trope says, her voice is so adorable, I wonder who her voice actor will be. So as we zip to the next scene here, okay, what is this structure?
There's been a lot of discussion on our forum. We received emails about this today that a lot of people think this is an oil rig.
Right. And the kind of some of the thoughts that go along with that are, and of course we're just guessing and going off of what we're hearing, you know, not hearing, but what we're hearing from other users in the forum. So nothing is official, but people are saying, if this is an oil rig, is it a potential that there was an oil spill which led to the Marine Life Institute having to come in and rescue some of these fish to rehabilitate them?
I can totally see that.
I could see that too, and especially Andrew Stan, obviously with Wall-E, took on those big concepts of real life issues, and I think I could totally see him taking that on here as well, something similar.
Yeah. Even Cars 2 kind of has like the whole oil crisis and those big like oil rigs out in the middle of the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ooh, maybe that's there's your
That's it.
yeah Easter egg there.
I'm not sold on the oil idea.
Not
yet.
sold on the oils. Okay, all right. It's just a possibility that that was thrown out there.
But I do have to thank the YouTube username Polish Gent. He said they're called sea fans, that I was talking about them being the trees in the background of that previous scene.
Awesome. Sea fans.
fans.
There we go.
So thank you.
I don't know. I'm still stuck on this oil rig idea. I can't decide if I think, because it looks like a ladder going up it, which gives you some scale as to how big this structure is. And
Right.
I think oil rigs are pretty massive, aren't they?
They absolutely are, and I don't know why they would have a ladder. I thought about that too. Why they would have a ladder that someone could scale up that far down.
Yeah.
I imagine it's to scale downwards though, not like, you know, so you can like pull yourself down.
Sure.
Up.
Sure.
Yeah, I was thinking possibly like tidal energy. They have
That's-
like these structures.
I was thinking like fans, like windmill kind of things.
Power. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard because it's not a dock because it obviously is going straight up, and so I'm trying to think of any other structure out in the ocean that wouldn't be a dock. I can't think of anything unless that is part of a dock, and we're looking to the side of it, and it would go back this way. I don't know. Maybe that's just one part of like the structure of a dock underneath the water.
You know, maybe these three legs are actually one leg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then it could be huge.
Yeah, then it could be really massive. Like if this is like one corner.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Very, very interesting to see what this is. I wonder if someone out there has seen anything like this. Because if it's Pixar, it's probably coming from somewhere in real life.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
And that next shot right there, that reminds me of the concept art, like the very first piece that we saw.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dory swimming within that.
Right, where Dory's kind of swimming up towards the surface there.
Yeah.
And I have to interject something.
Oh, should I stop screen share?
of this scene with the kelp.
All right.
Okay. One of my favorite films of all time is Jaws.
Right.
Okay? Literally, I've seen it like a million times. I really hope, and I don't think it's going to happen, but I hope Bruce kind of shows up and kind of makes an entrance, like a friendly entrance in the kelp. Oh my God, I would die. Because that would be like a throwback to Jaws. I mean, not that they need to do that or anything, but when I see that,
it makes you think.
I only think of Jaws.
Hey, they had Jaws references in The Good Dinosaur, so they could do it here.
They did. The campfire scene.
Yep.
Yeah.
What? Fins.
So yeah, you never know. You never know. So by the way, when are you going to tell us about your?
Well, we're gonna get to it.
Okay, I'm sorry.
When we get to the Marine Life Institute, I'll tell you what plot detail I think I kind of figured out.
All right.
Possibly.
Well, let's keep zipping through the old. We've seen that, and then now we're getting a nice little top view. This is the first.
Which, by the way, if you go back to that top view.
Oh yes. Okay. Looking from.
That scene, if you remember, that's how Finding Nemo began. That's how the credits or the title scene happened in Finding Nemo.
Right. This looks very similar to that.
Except it was a moon and not a sun.
Well, do you think this is a sun? Because the next shot is like her in a tank. This could be like an overhead light or something.
I think this is actually ocean. If I went for it, but I guess it could be. But it just feels oceany.
Yeah.
But yes, this definitely goes to because this feels more fluorescent light, and now we're clearly in a tank, where you can see what appears to be a little arm of Hank in the tank on the right. That's
yeah,
right.
but does this not seem like a strange? I thought this was a strange progression of shots because it looks like you go from if this is supposed to be a timeline of memories, it kind of seems like you go from ocean, 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 sun, inside a tank, and then the next scene is back out in the ocean with the sunken VW bug there. It's
right.
Like why is there this interjection of her briefly inside of the aquarium in between not being in an aquarium?
That's an interesting thought. I don't know why because my first thought is because it was positioned with ocean, 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 tank, ocean. My first thought was, where the heck is this? So it's just like really shallow waters, and then as you progress further, you realize, okay, this is clearly tank. But yeah, it is an interesting progression for sure. But
do you
hey,
think that she could have? I mean, the whale said that she knew her. Did she say that she knew her in the ocean, or could Dory have been here before? Could this be her being back?
I interpret that comment by the whale as Dory having been there before.
So maybe I memory of her in the tank from before somehow, and she's gotten back to where she was originally somehow.
Yeah.
Well, and that could tie into the person's comment if there was some type of oil spill or something where she was in there, then they released her, something happened during the release, she loses her memory, and now she's back there again.
What's cool is Pixar can literally do anything they want because she can't remember anything.
Right.
They could put her in any scenario and not have to worry about too much continuity with her.
Well, they talked about that in a interview that Andrew Stanton recently did with Yahoo Movies.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Yeah, and he said that it was a burden though because it's harder because you have to keep reminding scenes of things.
Right.
So then we've got this Volkswagen here. We had the somebody threw out the theory: is this potentially a Cars 3 teaser? You never know. Could be Carla Veloso's crew chief car sunken in there because that was a Beetle. But yeah, you guys have anything else with the Beetle scene?
It looks like the fish she's staring at. Are those the same kind of fish that she's like bobbing up and down with later with her eyes open?
It seems like it.
Yeah, they do look similar.
Right. All right. So then, what is going on? Is this literally just a cut scene? It's got the fading, but what is around here? Is this
coral?
In coral, okay.
Yeah. Do you think that's like her being like taken, or not taken? I don't know. Taken. I have a theory about whether or not she was like taken or kidnapped or something, which we can get to.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like it looks like that's her like being. If that's her point of view, then it's like she's being sucked backwards somehow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
Or like a dream sequence, like a nightmare.
They certainly look worried, but it could be a nightmare, absolutely.
It could be a dream sequence with it moving backwards like that. That's kind of how I took it.
Yeah, so this was also the first sighting of Dory's parents, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we've got Jenny on the right and Charlie, her father, on the left. He's got quite the forehead going on there.
I love the character design of them. We'll get a better shot.
Yeah. I love the character design of the dad because my first thought was like, he looks exactly like Marlin. So like if Marlin was a hippo tank, and I was like, because he's kind of got the big forehead, and I was like, maybe that's part of like why Dory is able to like sort of stick around with them and remember Marlin a little better because like there is some familiarity there, if only some.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I like that you said it was a dream because the very next thing it fades into is her sleeping in that coral.
Right. Yes.
Too true.
Right yeah.
There we go. So then we got this. We've got that shot that you had talked about with the home and the grass with the shells kind of leading you there.
Mm-hmm.
And then here's obviously the big reveal as far as her parents. Great design. She's got the Jenny. Her mom has those great magenta eyes like Dory has.
Well, it's not just the eyes; it's the fin that looks like hair.
Yeah.
It looks like a longer kind of hair.
Yeah.
Or kind of short-ish.
They revealed those designs clear back at the 2013 D23 Expo, right?
They did. Well, they
so
at
they
least
were pretty much exactly the same, right?
Right. They were just like individual like concept art sketches that showed like a still photo. Yeah.
And it seems like that was pretty much the final look.
Yep.
And you also would have seen some concept art that shouldn't have been shown, but if you went to the Inside Access or the All Access Inside Out event for Fathom, was it Fathom events?
Oh, right. For
Inside Out to see it early. I think it was like $40 a ticket. They showed you like 15 minutes behind the scene of Inside Out. Well, during the presentation, Pete and Jonas walk into
the editing room
where Andrew Stanton is, with just a bunch of people, and I won't name them all, but on the back wall was a poster with I think Destiny was on there, Bailey was on there.
There was another whale too.
There was a couple other characters that weren't on there, and it was so quick.
Right.
And it was just like, oh my gosh! But then the Inside Access Pass had where you could go and watch it again when you got home. Oh, by the time we got home, it had already been fixed. But it was neat seeing it, live at this event. I mean, Grant, we saw it for a split second.
Yeah, but they held it there for a couple seconds. I was actually gonna see. I actually had it that scene, but I won't pull it up. But I would just show where it was blurred out. But yeah, it was blurred out.
It's all blurred out.
We were disappointed when we got home.
You can see it on Disney Movies anywhere. It's still blurred out, but
Right.
we're just talking about concept art. Of course, my mind went to more concept art.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my gosh. That concept art, absolutely. I would
character design
cover all of the walls of my house with concept art. if I could.
Just 2 months till the Art of book. Everyone loves those.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Then we'll get to see it all.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. All right, let's keep digging through. So now Dory's saying her line. This is where we start cueing in Peter Gabriel's Salisbury Hill.
And Stan also likes him too, Peter Gabriel.
Absolutely.
Who doesn't?
Because he sang the song, the end credits song for Wall-E.
Exactly.
Yep.
So I was trying to slow this way down, but it goes a little too fast to see if there's anything in the background there. But okay, we've got it going now. Never give up, and then now we start getting into some exciting stuff because as we start seeing Crush again, we've even got people in the forum that are like, "Oh my God, Crush is back! Crush is back!" They're really excited. So that was Sally in the forum that said that.
And speaking of Crush, it was also announced today that at Epcot and Disney's California Adventure, Turtle Talk with Crush this summer is going to have Dory, Nemo, Marlin, Squirt for the first time, Bailey, Hank, and Destiny are going to join Turtle Talk with Crush.
Wow, that's going to be huge because realistically,
it's only been
Crush. Yeah, and that's definitely going to add a lot to it. But that's going to be so much fun. That's going to be like going into the Monsters Inc. laugh floor where they have all the different characters. but I bet it's going to make it where certain times you won't see certain characters, so that way you want to keep coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Because even as it is, they do different gags. I've seen it countless times, and it's different every time. Like last time I saw something I hadn't even seen before, but they probably update the system often anyway. But I saw something I hadn't seen before, and I've seen it so many times. So that will be even more reason to go back to that. That's one of my favorites.
Oh, yeah. Anytime you can get
Yeah, every time.
Oh yeah, anytime you have an actor that's talking in the background where they can ad lib based on who they're seeing in the audience, it definitely adds to the to the humor.
And the kids, I've had some great shows. Like a huge part of it is what the kids say, and I've had such funny kids ask some great questions.
Yeah, what was the one that we had?
That was funny.
Oh, it was some kid told a joke about something going down the toilet. So let's go back over here then. So we've got Crush again. It was great. It's always great to see old friends, but it's going to be interesting to see how he gets integrated here. So how is Crush going to be integrated back into the story?
I don't know. I feel like he's a fan favorite, so they just really wanted him in somehow.
Yeah,
because they're going to take the EAC.
But that's
because it's the fastest way.
What's that, Jonathan?
But that like the EAC's to Australia, so this has got to be like the California current or something, right?
Oh, that's true.
Right, because
California's super far from their reef.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, and somebody said that in the forum too. They said, "I wonder, is Crush going to bring them to California?"
Dude.
Right.
It seems like that's where he comes from anyway. So
He kind of talks like a California surfer dude. So
that is true. That is true.
Spoken by a Bostonian.
Yeah, and just being from Boston. Okay, so let's jump into. We've got. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, that's okay. I was gonna say you gotta wonder how long Marlon even remains in the movie, because it seems almost like as this is going to progress into the next couple scenes here, it seems like Dory is solo. So I wonder. Come again?
Oh, I was saying, much like Nemo was in the first one, I feel like it will probably be cutting back and forth to their different arcs.
Right. So I'm curious to see if Marlon is actually helping Dory go find her parents, or if she leaves and this is his pursuit of her, or how is that going to work?
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I hadn't thought about that, but you're right. They are kind of separate for quite a bit of it. In the last trailer that we saw, though, there was that part where they're going by that coral, almost like a boat kind of thing, and they're saying with the growth on it, saying what about this or that or sea mollusks, all that.
Well, I think that Dory goes into the Marine Life Institute by herself.
Right. And we've got Fishy Big Lips here. He's gonna sneeze here, but before we go any further, this is awesome. So at some point, Jim Morris, the Pixar's president, had said during one of his interviews that there were crates that had fallen off of a boat, and there was going to be something that was going to tie into the Marine Life Institute with that. Are they loading in these crates now? I don't know. But visually, I love how the lighting is in this scene, how it chops it off with the kind of like that loading coming in here.
Right.
And then I love the fact that we know we're inside the tank because of the extra dispersion of light and kind of the aberration of the light that we're getting from inside the tank. Super cool.
I like the slight puddles on the concrete floor.
Yeah.
It's a very nice touch. I would almost bet, back to your original thing at the beginning, what was a really challenging thing would be getting light to reflect through curved glass like that.
Yeah, because the tanks are different than anything we've seen before.
Yeah, looking at an aquarium from 1 foot over can often totally warp everything you're seeing in there. That could be interesting.
Absolutely. All right, so Ben, what is your take in looking at this? Have you seen anything like this where you've got these hoses and this back room here with the loading dock? Any thought?
Yeah, I mean, my life support room that I work out of is not that far different from this. So, from my perspective, in the details that they have put into this space, like having that hose right there is one of these things that every single tank in your room is going to have something like that there. But I mean, that's something I couldn't imagine a detail to be included that would just have to come from going to one of these spaces and actually like understanding the importance of why it's there. So yeah, I mean, just kind of looking into this space, and these are fiberglass tubs usually, and they put these clear panels in there so that you can see in and kind of see what's going on. They use it for aquaculturing tilapia a lot of times, so you have like a little viewing glass.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, this little scene right here is absolutely super neat. Just from what I take away from it, which honestly is less in the way. You guys have an extreme appreciation for the animation. I feel like all just these little details I'm in love with. Even if you're looking at right above the bay door, you can see all these pipes running along the wall. I mean, just plumbing everywhere. Water movement is so critical for this type of thing. So, I don't know, lots of stuff in there. Lots of stuff.
Yeah, I love all the other stuff too. Like you got the fluorescent lights running one way versus the other. I mean, that's just how things look when you're in these types of spaces.
Right. Yes.
Yeah, really, really cool details. And okay, so then we've got a person standing behind the tank here.
Yeah.
As Dory. Oh, go ahead.
It looks like it looks sort of blurry here, but the tiles on the wall look the same as that little like the one Hank is blending into later.
Exactly.
So I wonder if this warehouse is it's not like an I was sort of like when I first saw it I thought it was like an office sort of setting, but like this little that office-y area could just be like the back of this warehouse.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so now we've got the introduction of Destiny, and this is where we find out that they're friends. Now, the question had come up before of, hey, are Destiny and Dory, are they related? Because in 2014, and quoted on Wikipedia, they're listed as Caitlin Olsen was interviewed in 2014. She said that her character was going to be the adoptive sister of Dory. And this was also trailed through into Wikipedia and all these other things. But in that same interview that we were talking about earlier with Andrew Stanton on Yahoo Movies, he mentioned that Destiny had an interesting circuitous route. We originally started with the idea of having there be an adoption story and Dory having a sister that she was replaced by, and that was originally Destiny. And then the story morphed, and she turned out better to be a friend of Dory's past that she just didn't know about. So that's a nice little we've got the confirmation there. But great looks at Destiny. I was hoping we were going to see more of some of the other characters too. But obviously, with the short amount of time, I'll take what I can get. So.
And what I loved about Destiny in this particular scene was you can hear an echo on her voice, which would be like if you were in a tank. And I thought that was a very important detail to add because you don't hear it on Dory because Dory's so little, but you hear it on Destiny's voice.
Yeah, that's true.
Because she's so big.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, so we're seeing Destiny move along here. Did you guys have any thoughts as far as anything that came up when you saw the Destiny scene?
Yeah, I think there was a lot to take away from like what she says. She only has a few lines, but it was what she says that, or she recognizes her and then tells her, "Oh, it was so great because I could tell you the same story over and over and over." So. That, like we said earlier, maybe it suggests that she has been to this place before, and that's where she knows Destiny from. And it also, I guess, suggests that at that point, Dory also had short-term memory.
That's true. So it was when they were together before, because it was so much fun because I could tell you a story and then you completely forget about it, and then I get to tell you about it over and over again.
That's a great line.
Yeah.
This is my favorite scene.
I just think that it's clever from the beginning, ever since I heard her description as a whale shark who thinks she's a whale. And she, as we see here, she even does the whale speak, and so I just think that's clever and funny right there. That's witty.
Right. So one thing I thought was interesting is when we first get this here, this is the first time that you see Dory wearing her tag. So she's got the tag on right there.
That's right.
But then, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so now I can kind of reveal what I think is a plot detail.
Oh, please hold. Okay, here we go. Are we ready?
Okay. So we know that Dory was in a smaller tank in that office area.
Right.
Because that's where we first saw that she has that tag on her fin.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. In was it a Funko toy line, we know that there are a couple otter characters.
Yep.
One in particular has a bucket on his head.
Yes.
I think that those otters, in particular, the one with the bucket on his head, might scoop up Dory and be the one that carries Dory from tank to tank. Because how is Dory getting into Destiny's tank? How is she getting into a touch pool? I don't think that a aquarium would put that fish in a touch pool.
Okay.
I think she gets taken there in the evening time by this pesky little otter guy.
Okay. Well,
and dumped there as they're trying to find out where her parents are.
Well, I definitely like the idea of moving from tank to tank, but I'm doing this because there is also in some of the artwork, which you could see for the book covers in the forum, there's also many images of Hank with a coffee pot. So is he potentially moving her too?
Oh, that could be. I forgot that he was in that same office.
I do like that theory, though. I like that idea.
Yeah, I mean, it's like Nigel.
What's that, Ben?
I said it's like the Nigel of this movie. Like Nigel was the one that was able to transport fish, kind of to and from the aquarium.
Yeah.
The ability to move from like scene to scene is rather difficult when a fish can't exactly leave its environment, especially in an aquarium. It is such a good point. I was thinking that the whole time. It's like, why is this fish in any of these systems?
Right. But it
I'll
could
be thinking about you, Julie. If that comes out to be true, I'll be thinking she did it.
She did it. That's awesome. All right, so I like it. I'll take it.
That was my theory.
I like it. It's good.
I have a quick question. What do you guys think, just like story-wise, since we're kind of talking about the story and different points? Like, so far, I have a feeling it's going to be different than what we think, because what we're thinking so far, it seems so close to Finding Nemo, the whole plot, Nemo going missing and then someone trying to find him. I just doubt they're doing a retread. How do you think this is going to be different than the plot of the first one? Because I know it's got to be.
Well, it is interesting because as you think through the different things, and as we come into the next scene, I shouldn't even have stopped. As we come into the next scene, you're going to see these different characters that people are like, hey, this is almost similar to the Tank Gang.
Yeah, I think it mirrors the Tank Gang. Oh, that's one of my other favorite scenes.
With the oxygen glove, yes.
The oxygen, yeah. You can see it.
Right there.
Right there.
Boom.
Oxygen glove.
Boom, oxygen glove.
There it is. You were right.
I know, I'm telling you.
And look at how awesome it is with those bubbles coming up there.
Look at those effects.
Yeah, the effects team definitely nailed it for sure on this. You can see
and the lighting with that.
Yeah, I mean, and some kid probably dropping their sippy cup in there.
Oh.
Right.
So yeah, coming up is one of the animation scenes that I loved. Here is squash and stretch animation Dory. Look at that. How awesome is that?
That's a good freeze frame right there.
I know, I just love it because she goes through so many things here. She's like normal, and then she jaw way down, then way back up. Eyes coming out a little more. Just really cool.
But getting back to Dan's question.
Oh yeah, getting back to Dan's question about how it changed.
Oh wait, Julie, what do you think of the sand right there?
I know. I am such a geek about that dust. There's another oxygen glove.
I swear, if they say that the oxygen glove, and that's how they say it someday, is the challenge, I am going to be blown away.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, that is a genius name for that. Oxygen glove.
Oxygen glove.
It's just perfect.
So
it could be more too.
And it's very specific. It's like you understand what it is. Oxygen glove.
Yeah.
I don't get it yet. No, you get it.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, obviously somebody else said when they saw this too, kind of going back to what Dan's talking about, like, you know, it does. It feels like it's mirroring some of these things. We've already got Ben mentioning Nigel moving fish from one place to another. This feels like Tank Gang. This feels like Peach. This character here.
This also kind of feels like the butterfly room in Toy Story 3 a little bit.
Okay, so yeah.
Same exact thought.
We had a couple people actually email us and then one person tweet us about that same exact thought.
Yeah, so yeah, Beatrice.
I agree with the whole big, all the toddlers coming in scene.
Yeah, so Beatrice in Twitter said the Touch Tank scene is too similar to Toy Story 3. I don't think it's necessarily too similar, but it definitely gives that same vibe for sure.
Mm-hmm.
It does, but I think this scene is so creative because honestly, when we've gone to aquariums and I see these kids, I'm like, oh, those poor fish have got to be so traumatized by the end of the day.
Right.
So to me, I know it's a very creative way to kind of let us see it.
So true to life stuff.
Yeah.
I've been showing it a bunch. Oh, go ahead.
I love the idea. I just thought of it now that you're saying that this is one of those. I mean, it sounds obvious now, but this is one of those little tank areas where the kids can touch and play with sea stars and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I've done those things. I just realized what this is portraying there, and I love it. I don't know why that didn't register before, but I love those little areas as a kid.
Dan's a little late to the game on this one.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm blown away because I think that's super creative to put. But the question is, why would Dory be in one of those little things? Because she's obviously not one to be touched.
Well, that's what Ben was saying. Like, why would they even be in this?
Well, I think it's because she's trying to get her questions answered, so she's having what I think maybe is like someone carrying her, like that bucket otter guy,
right,
into here so she can ask, hey, have you been in the back and have you seen my mom and dad?
Right.
Is Hank pulling her?
Oh, go ahead, Jack.
I was gonna say I didn't notice. Is Hank pulling her down here, or is she swimming out of the way?
Looks like
he's pulling her.
Looks like he might be grabbing her and moving her.
Yeah, a little bit. I also love that the ink pops out of him.
You're right. It's the first time we get to see that he inks.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't notice that before. That's funny.
Yeah. Coming out right over here. Yeah.
And that toy, I was just told, it's not an otter, it's a seal with the bucket.
Oh, the seal's the bucket, right.
So thank you for that.
Yeah.
How much of an issue do you think it's going to be, like, with her, you know, Marlin was sort of like her security blanket and the other one, and that's how she was able to kind of keep a common thread. But she couldn't even remember, like, Nemo's name throughout the whole movie, you know, kept getting it wrong over and over and over again. How do you think, or how much of a problem do you think it's going to be for her in tracking if she is going from tank to tank, getting more information, if she's continuously forgetting half the things that she's learning? Or do you think that she will just be able to handle that?
Is it potentially because it's so familiar to her it's kind of coming back? Or is it because... Go ahead.
I think Hank is going to become her sidekick.
Right.
Hank's going to become Marlin.
Hank's obviously a huge part of the movie because he's on every single piece of merchandise.
Oh, without a doubt, he's on everything.
Yeah, so he's obviously going to be huge.
Well, I don't know, like, Crush is like the giant big thing on the DVD box of Finding Nemo, and he's not a huge part of the movie.
Well, that's
true.
That's certainly true, but yeah, anything, any like kickboard, any drink cup, he's on every book cover almost. Yeah, Hank's got to be a major part of this thing.
And I love his voice. I think that was brilliant.
Ed O'Neill, yeah, did a great job on that for sure. Okay, so let's get we'll start getting towards we only got like 20 seconds left in the trailer here. So we've got our first look at Bailey, and he says, what is it, Holy Neptune? Yeah, Holy Neptune.
course.
And there's a couple. We know that he thinks his radar is busted, for lack of better terms. And so there's a couple images from like products that are going to be coming out that he says just dialing it in. So it appears that he's going to have like a thing where he's going to try to say like he's going to try to get his sonar to work properly, and he's going to go, I just got to dial it in. I just got to dial it in. It seems like almost everything he's doing, he's such a worrier. He's trying to dial it in to try to get more perceptive. So that definitely seems like one of the things that he's going to be doing there. Okay, so we've got the touch thing, we got him inking, and then yeah, with these fish that Dory's saying, let's see, oh,
They look
I'm
like
sorry.
Sardines.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I've got to blink. How do you hold your eyes open that long?
Right.
I love that this takes place in an aquarium. There's so much fun stuff you could do with that.
Yeah.
It's like maybe like a feeding bucket for something else.
I think it's a feeding bucket.
Yeah.
I think these are clearly fish that are food.
Yes.
Fish that are food.
Fish that are food, not fish.
Right. Yeah, and it's once again a situation where why is Dory here? Like,
Right.
Yeah. This makes no sense.
All right.
I almost think this could be in the beginning. Like she accidentally like jumps out and gets into that bucket before she really starts finding her family or something. I don't know.
Got it. Like one of the earlier scenes you're thinking?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so here's like a hurried scene where clearly you could see some fluorescent lights above, the great texture on those covers, which are always on those lights.
Yep.
And then it being dumped in the tank, so it's all from Dory's perspective. So then she kind of comes to, she's like, oh my gosh, what's going on here? And then, Hank. How awesome is this character? So, Dan, you saw this at D23, correct?
Mhm.
So it was that scene that you had saw?
Yeah, that was part of it. I saw him camouflage several times. I can't remember if it was one continuous scene or if it was several. But at first, I was taken back by how he camouflaged. I've mentioned this before, because obviously in real life when they camouflage, it's kind of to colors. But I mean, they took it really literally with this, and they can he can blend into anything. And then the clip I saw, he even blended in with like a portrait in the background, like a painted portrait, and then he appears almost like Randall does in Monsters, Inc. You know what I'm talking about when Randall appears from that portrait?
From Water News.
Yeah, exactly. Very similar to that. So I was like, ooh, that was taking a little too far. But when I saw this, I'm getting used to it now, and I can suspend my disbelief a little bit more.
Yeah, and on that note, it's kind of funny, but octopus are, like, people ask me all the time if they can have them. They are incredibly difficult to keep in the tanks. They're, like, well-known escape artists. So when I saw this, I was like, you know what? At an aquarium, I guarantee the octopus would get out. So,
Well, there you go.
Just the behind the scenes. It seemed believable. Maybe not the camouflage, but at least that he wasn't in the aquarium.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Because oh, and then also we keep calling him an octopus too, but we know he's a septopus. So he only has 7 arms. We also have the quite hilarious moment where he goes to flip on the light.
That was my favorite gag.
Yeah, so he goes to flip on the light, and then, of course, he's like, oh, no.
I had seen that scene, and when you watch it at D23, everything goes by so fast, and I couldn't remember barely everything that I saw. But when I saw this, I'm like, wait a second, I saw that, and I forgot how funny it was. That totally took me off guard, though, even though I've seen it before.
Yeah, so, look at as, he's gaining his pigment back here, too. It's kind of cool. As it all starts to come into play there, because he's getting back to his normal self. But yeah, so people kind of said, hey, is this how he loses his arm? I think that's way too obvious. Isn't it at birth he only had 7 arms or something like that?
Yeah, I think it's something like that.
Yeah, so I thought that was kind of funny, but there was a couple mentions of that 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 people were thinking that was potentially how he lost the old arm. But yeah, I love watching how he moves.
I love his personality already. Like he's being all sneaky, and he's trying to turn off the light to be all sneaky in there, but then he turns on the disposal.
Right.
Right. I can tell he's just gonna be like he's gonna be a character who takes himself very seriously, and it's gonna be in a funny way.
Yeah. I even went as far as trying to, like, when I was doing like all the background research, I was like, is there something in this reflection to the left that I can see?
Went all out.
Oh, you know what though? If you go back some, just the stuff on the desk.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a one of the boxes. I was looking everywhere for the address Peachum 42 Wallaby Way.
Right.
But one of them says like Gilfin Systems or sulfate, Gilfin sulfate.
Right, that's this right here.
Right, and so Ben obviously has to order a bunch of fish aquarium chemicals all the time, and he didn't recognize that, and we looked it up, and that's like not a real product.
Okay, all right.
So, I don't know. They have more of it too, so maybe it looks like a lot of the fish we meet have like handicaps. So I was like, maybe this is like a medicine they're using or something that's causing it, or I don't know.
Well, it makes sense if they have a handicap because the motto for the Marine Life Institute is rescue, rehabilitate, release.
I think so, yeah. I can go grab our cereal downstairs.
I finished my box a couple days ago.
We bought multiple.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
What were you saying, Jonathan? You still don't have it?
I can't find it. I looked for it today.
What?
Walmart, man. Walmart's the place to get it.
Walmart.
Target has it too now.
Oh, that's true.
They
In fact,
started-
yeah. What's that, Dan?
I was just asking if you tried Walmart yet.
I've not. I've just been
Oh, because my regular grocery stores don't have it.
Okay, interesting.
You got to go lowbrow to find it, I guess.
Definitely.
Lowbrow.
Kroger has like frozen ones and stuff, so I don't know.
You'll find it, man. I believe it.
I'm on the lookout. Well, not
He's
only
finding Dory cereal.
it's probably just camouflage, like Hank somewhere.
Oh.
That would just be in your area then.
Yeah.
By the way, talking about some of the water different places, you can see there's a little bit more reflection on the counter there too, so it's kind of cool that it's wet there too.
Well, it's from Hank.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. He zipped up there, but I think it's cool that they carried all that through. You see all those fun details. So we'll let this play out here.
And then that's it.
Yep, that's it.
Oh.
So. Really awesome trailer. I wanted to also mention there was a couple things that Stanton had mentioned in that Yahoo Movies interview as well. He said we actually cast in a cameo role the original voice actor for Nemo, which was Alexander Gold. He has a little cameo voice that no one would know because he sounds like a man, but I just felt like I really wanted the Nemo family in the film. So I thought that was a cool little thing, a little Easter egg. We'll have to figure out where his voice is.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that is really.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought it was nice that they, you got to have him back in there because so many other
that might fit
characters.
in one of your theories, somehow.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if Angus McLean.
What was sorry?
Sorry.
I was gonna say, I wonder if it'll be like a sort of self-referential, you have to be in the know kind of joke where someone makes fun of Nemo's high-pitched voice or something, but that's the former Nemo.
Oh, yeah, that'll probably be something like that. It'll probably be something funny like that. But what were you gonna say? Sorry.
I was gonna say I wonder if Angus McLean's gonna voice something.
Right, and of course, I would co-director. I would expect, he'll probably throw his voice. He usually throws his voice in some of those different projects. He's got a great voice.
I know, because Stanton does the birds. The seagulls.
Yeah, mine, and then
Crush.
I said the birds.
Did McClane do anything in Toy Story Terror?
I don't think so. Oh yes, he did one of the police officers at the end.
Okay, that's right.
He was either Wilson or Phillips.
Yeah, so he's obviously done his cameo, so I would definitely count on that.
Well, and then even in
Captain Zip in Hawaiian Vacation.
Right,
Oh,
he did the
okay.
and he did the part in.
He was Bernie.
Right, he did the little sounds for Bernie, and then in Small
Who
Fry,
also directed it.
he was in Small Fry. He was the guy that did the Rexing Ball.
No.
I thought that was him when he did.
Rexing Ball is Hawaiian Vacation, and that was Alex, editor.
Oh, Axel Geddes.
Axel Geddes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Fine. I stand corrected.
The news in y'all's household must be hysterical.
I know.
We do have some good conversations back and forth. We tend
and I'm brushing up on all of like who's voicing what because our 2-year-old son just watches these Pixar shorts nonstop. So I'm like, oh yeah, look who voiced that. I'm like, no, mommy needs to watch the credits, honey.
You're right. Yeah, we're training him now. He needs to watch the credits all the way through. So I wanted to bring up one other thing from the interview with Andrew Stanton as well too. I thought it was really cool. So he said the idea came to him in 2011. The summer of 2012 is when he hired writer Victoria Strauss, and he said, "I'm a 12 draft guy on average. It takes me a long time to find the right answers. I'm not fast, but also I don't give up. I think we nailed everything probably last week." So that's pretty crazy that they're still hashing out little tiny bits. He said it's been almost 10 or 11 drafts on this one so far. So really cool. But I also looked up, of course, I hear Victoria Strauss. I look her up. Really not a huge base as far as movies. She's only really done some TV work. So I'm interested to see her involvement with this, to see what else Victoria brings to the film. And it sounds like she's been on it the whole time. So it'll be really interesting to see how that plays out as well.
Yeah, that's like almost comforting in a way. Sometimes like the relative unknown person is like that the hidden cache of talent that no one was expecting.
Yeah, I love that kind of stuff too, but it always makes me wonder, how do they find them then? How do they know the skills they have when they don't have as much of a resume?
Friend of a friend. You just got to know people.
They know. They can tell.
So I have a couple questions.
Okay.
From YouTube and emails, and they're actually to like all of us.
Yeah.
Everyone. This Lego Boy 1214 Studios. He wants to know who is our favorite character from Finding Dory so far.
Oh, well, I'll just jump in because mine's easy. Hank, I love him.
I'm gonna say my favorite was Destiny. I loved that whole scene. I thought I love Caitlin Olsen. I thought she just totally owned it. It was like really like commanded the presence of her character on screen, which I guess is not hard when you're a whale shark, but just I thought that was really funny. I think she's going to be great.
Awesome. Okay.
I'd say my first gut reaction was also Hank, but since I don't know enough about him, I've seen almost nothing from him yet. I say I'm just the most intrigued by him so far. I'm the most interested to see what that character is all about.
Yeah, I think for me it's sort of a blanket answer, but when I was watching this and saw a lot of your older characters like throughout the beginning of the trailer, I was kind of like, all right. But I mean, all of the new ones, I mean, they just seem like they bring those animals to the Finding Nemo like caricature so well. I honestly think I like everybody we saw.
Yeah, it's like they were there in the franchise the whole time.
Right.
They're like seamlessly integrated in. I like it. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so then what's yours?
Bailey.
Bailey, all right.
I'm really excited about the character Bailey. I love the idea, the story behind him.
Well, and obviously Ty Burrell, hilarious.
I love him. But yeah, I'm most excited to see where his character goes.
Awesome. All right. So if you have another question there, I have another one that somebody had put in a little bit earlier too.
Okay, go ahead.
And it was just about the song, her Just Keep Swimming. Do you think we're ever going to hear the origins of that? Was it something that her parents told her when she was being swept away from them, like, no matter what happens, just keep swimming? Or like, are we going to hear the origins of that? Is it a song that her and Destiny sang a long time ago and she said it so much it got stuck? What do you guys think about that?
That'd be cute. I don't know. That would be a fun throwback.
I think we definitely will, because like you said earlier, there wasn't a lot of like continuity to go on. There wasn't, so you could kind of make up a lot of stuff, especially since he forgets everything. But like two of the only things we have that we know about her past are like that she speaks whale, so they kind of already explained that, like this is how she did it, and that she and that song. So those are things I think they could just bounce off of. So I think we will find out.
And for Dory, it's a song about like when life gets you down, you just keep swimming. So it could be something her parents taught her or sang her. You know, her mom could just have this little thing with her where she sings that song with Dory where she sings, just keep swimming, and she just like maybe they have like a little moment where, you know, because you know my mom would sing to me or whatever, and I think a lot of moms do that, and maybe they have like this little thing where you know, it's a little family song that they sing when life gets down. I don't know.
Totally.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you guys think we're going to have any funny one-liners like, the sea monkey has my wallet?
Oh, totally, of course.
I think we already do. Like when she's sleep talking in the first trailer, I think she already says a couple funny things.
She does, yeah. There's something, is it the wrench?
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
So, cool. You guys have any other final thoughts before we sign off?
I had one last thing. I was breezing through the trailer one more time. There is a scene at about 1:09 where Dory is pushing a piece of like artificial coral, and it looks like her and Hank are like pulling a little maneuver there. Like the piece of coral, maybe it's supposed to be like a Hank decoy, and they're kind of like, go, go, go. Like, we have to move.
Totally.
Yeah, I can see it. You're right.
It looks totally just like him. I can totally
Very
see.
clever, Ben.
And it's, you know what it seems like? It seems like she's like, you can't hide from something. You've got to come out. And he's like, what are you, crazy?
Right.
Because that's what he says there too, isn't it? He says something like, "Are you crazy? It's too dangerous."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it'll be neat to see. It'll be neat to see exactly what all is going on there. But I was when you guys were asking about favorite new characters, I was passing through it one more time, and I was like, hang on a second, that's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
Coral looks just like Hank for sure.
Yeah, that's awesome. Excellent eye.
And I have one more before you guys go. We have a Twitter person just asked, and we had an email about this earlier too, about Easter eggs.
Okay.
Where do you guys think they'll be, and what do you think they'll be?
The possibilities are endless. I couldn't even begin to tell you.
Yeah.
So A113 we know was on the diver's camera in Finding Nemo.
Right.
Do you think it's going to be on the same sort of camera in Dory, or do you think it's going to be new?
I think it'll be new. I think it'll be on like a binder or something in the
lab.
Or like one of the tags.
Yeah. Oh, a fish tag could be a great place for it.
Great place. Yeah.
But a fish tag would be similar to the tag in Ratatouille.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
So I don't think it'll be on a fish tag. At least my thoughts.
True.
All right, I'll hold you to that. We'll see.
Julie's just
the corals, kind of like how it was in the fence for Good Dinosaur.
right.
I loved that.
That was very clever.
That would be cool to have another organic one. I don't know if they're going to go that far because they don't have to, because there actually is writing in this one.
Yeah.
But that would be cool if they went there, because that would be clever. They figured out a way to integrate that into the coral somehow.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and even like A113 to begin with, it seemed like maybe in the beginning it was kind of a joke amongst them, but as people like us have emerged, it almost seems like a game. Like, where can we hide it? Like, they're not.
They're there for sure.
Oh yeah. It's okay. I was just gonna say it's without a doubt a game, and it's something that, gosh, who doesn't love trying to find them, right?
Right.
So fun.
So one more. John Ratzenberger, do you think he is going to be the School of Fish again, or do you think he'll be a new character? Just a question just came up.
He's going to be a marine life worker guy, and I think he's going to have another like really small role like he did in the last few. Like he's going to have a few lines. Like hey Bob, get those crates out of here, or something. Like he's gonna be one of the workers that's like poking at the fish or taking out fish from a tank or something like that. That's my prediction.
All right, I like it.
I think it'll be the School of Fish again. I think he'll be like, oh, go this way, and it'll be like the arrow again. California, and they'll like do like a shape of California.
Right. That'd be funny.
I can see that.
It's funny because we all love that so much, these scenes. But yeah, it's like, as Dan was talking about, is it going to be too referential, always throwing back? So I don't know. I kind of want it to be there, but I don't know if I want it to be there. You know, like I think it'll be there, but I don't know. I can't decide. So yeah,
the scene with the turtles looked very similar. A lot of shots look very similar as it is.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. That's my question. That's what I'm excited for, because I'm excited to see what direction this goes. Because I know it just can't be or Dory gets lost. They're off to find her. I know there's going to be something that we don't know, and I think it's going to be a fun surprise.
I agree with that. Yeah, I don't think it's just going to be that she's lost and we're finding her.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Well, I think that about wraps up what we were talking about here. I'll kind of end it with a quote from forum user Arlo. He said those years of waiting for a Nemo sequel will be worth it if this film is as good as it looks. And couldn't agree more. The trailer, although originally people wanted it to be a little longer, coming out of it, I felt like I got everything I wanted to see.
Me too.
Yep.
So I'm definitely very, very satisfied, and really thrilled that we were all able to get together tonight to talk about it. And thank you to everybody that submitted questions ahead of time, that were watching along as we were going here too. So thanks again, guys. And as we sign off, as usual, we'll do a quick little run through as far as where people can find you again. So, Jonathan, where can people find more details about you and Ben, the Super Carlin Brothers?
Oh man, if you want to see us, you can head over to youtube.com/Super Carlin Brothers. We talk about Pixar all the time. We have a big backlog of videos you can check out. I'm sure we'll have a deep analysis of this trailer on there in the next couple of days as well. You can follow me on Twitter @JohnCurlin, and on Instagram @JohnCurlin, and I'll let Ben say his own stuff. But go subscribe to us on YouTube. Check us out. Enjoy.
Yeah, so like Jay said, absolutely, come on by to Super Carlin Brothers. I will be uploading a video tomorrow. I have a feeling it's going to be about this trailer, so it'll probably be a much more condensed synopsis of a lot of the things that we talked about tonight. And if you guys want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram, it is @SCB_Ben.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, so then Dan, give us a quick wrap-up on your site as well.
All right. DanThePixarFan.com is the site that I run. And if you are a collector or you like seeing lots of just cool Pixar merch out there, I am a big collector myself, and I do a review of an item every day. And so you can check back daily and always expect something new there, some kind of new product review or likewise. And you can find me on Twitter and Instagram, all those things, @DanThePixarFan, and expect much more coming up.
Awesome. What's a preview of your next post? Are you willing to reveal?
It's nothing special. It will be probably the most recent. I like the little Hatch and Heroes Transformers from Pixar characters, yep. And I'm going to be posting a little update to my collection there. It's going to slow down for a little bit until Dory, but it will pick up again.
Well, you kept everybody's interest with your personal stories and your video that you had there. What was your video of?
Did you like that?
I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. I just saw that you uploaded it. Was it like you opening a gift?
It's for you, man. It is for you. It is a throwback to one of our most earliest references when we started hanging out, and it is me opening the Bugs Life Anthill.
Is it? Oh, nice. The playset.
And I also reference my Bug Club for you in the post.
Oh my gosh, this is awesome. Okay, so yeah, I was way too slammed today, so I didn't have time to do it, but I did see that you had posted it, so I'm all over it. And
awesome.
That's awesome. All right, well, thanks again, everybody. You guys stay on. We're going to sign off from the live broadcast. Thanks again for everybody that's watching. Be sure to stay tuned to PixarPost.com all week for the latest Pixar news. Bye-bye. Thanks again.